There's a strange phenomenon happening right now. While millions frantically document every meal, every thought, every moment, the most interesting people you'll ever meet, they're nowhere to be found online. They're ghosts in the digital age. And Alan Watts would have smiled at this paradox. You see them sometimes at coffee shops, at bookstores, in parks. They're fully present, engaged, alive. Their phones stay in their pockets, while others broadcast their existence to strangers. These digital ghosts aren't missing out. They've discovered something the rest of us have forgotten, something Watts understood decades before social media was even conceived. That the most profound experiences in life cannot be captured, cannot be shared, cannot be liked or commented on. They can only be lived. Here's what nobody talks about. The people who don't post aren't antisocial. They're not bitter, not broken, not behind the times. They're often the most deeply connected humans you'll meet. Think about that for a moment. While everyone else performs their life, these people are actually living it. Watts once said something that cuts straight to the heart of this. The menu is not the meal. Social media is the menu. Life is the meal. And somewhere along the way, we've become so obsessed with photographing our food, we've forgotten to taste it. Let me tell you what's really happening in the mind of someone who doesn't post. It's not what you think. First, they've escaped the validation trap. You know the one. Post a photo, check for likes, refresh, check again. That little dopamine hit when the numbers go up. That subtle sting when they don't. The non-poster has broken free from this chemical casino. Their self-worth isn't tied to digital applause. But here's where it gets interesting. Studies show that people who don't use social media report something remarkable. They experience time differently, not faster, not slower, deeper. When you're not mentally composing captions, when you're not framing every sunset for maximum engagement, when you're not living life through a screen, something shifts. The moment expands, colors become more vivid, conversations go deeper. You stop being the director of your life movie. You become the one actually living in it. Alan Watts saw this coming. Not social media, specifically, but the human tendency to mistake the symbol for the reality. He talked about people who go to the Grand Canyon and spend the whole time looking through a camera. You're not there, he'd say. You're already in the future showing these photos to someone else. The non-posters understand this intuitively. They've realized that every moment spent curating their image is a moment stolen from actually being themselves. Think about the last sunset you watched. Did you watch it? Or did you watch it through your phone screen while finding the perfect angle? The non-poster just watches. No filter needed. No audience required. Just them and the dying light. And in that moment, they experience something you can't. Complete presence. Let me share something that might disturb you. The people who don't post have a superpower. They can fail in private. Think about what that means. When you're not broadcasting your goals, when you're not announcing your transformations, when you're not turning your struggles into content, you're free to actually struggle, to actually fail, to actually transform, without an audience watching, without the pressure to make it inspirational, without having to perform your own healing. Watts understood that real growth happens in darkness, like seeds underground, invisible, unwitnessed, unposted. The moment you drag it into the light for others to see, something essential is lost. The process becomes a performance. The journey becomes content. The transformation becomes a brand. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Social media isn't a window, it's a mirror, and we've become addicted to our own reflection. Every post is really asking, do you see me? Every story whispers, am I enough? Every update screams, I exist. The non-poster has stopped looking in the mirror. They've turned to face life directly. There's an old Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. The non-poster chops wood. The poster photographs themselves chopping wood, writes about the meditation of chopping wood, creates content about their wood-chopping journey. But the wood, it never quite gets chopped. Watch a child play. They don't stop to document their joy. They don't pause to share their discoveries. They're completely absorbed. The non-poster has retained this childlike presence. while others live in 3 timelines simultaneously: past, editing photos; present, taking photos; future, imagining reactions to photos. The non-poster lives in one. Now, Watts called this the wisdom of insecurity, the acceptance that this moment, this precious, unrepeatable moment, will pass without a trace. No digital footprint, no permanent record, no proof it ever happened, except in the consciousness that experienced it. And somehow, that makes it more real, not less. Here's something beautiful. Non-posters have different relationships, deeper ones. When you meet someone who doesn't post, you're meeting them, not their brand, not their curated self, not their highlight reel, the actual person, unfiltered, unedited, unperformed. They bring their whole self to the encounter because they haven't spent it performing for strangers online. Their attention is undivided, their presence is complete, their energy is full. You become the only audience that matters. The strangest part? Non-posters are often the most creative people alive, but their creativity isn't for consumption. They write journals nobody will read, paint pictures nobody will see, sing songs nobody will hear, create for the pure joy of creating. Watts talked about this. The difference between genuine creativity and performance. Real creativity, he said, is like a child dancing alone in their room. No audience, no judgment, no purpose except the dance itself. The non-poster maintains this purity. Their art isn't content, it's expression. Their life isn't a performance, it's an experience. You want to know the real psychology of people who don't post? They've achieved something most of us only dream of: freedom from the opinion of others. Not in theory, in practice, every day, every moment. They eat meals without photographing them, take trips without documenting them, have thoughts without tweeting them, feel emotions without sharing them. This is what the Stoics called autarkia, self-sufficiency of the soul. The non-poster doesn't need your likes to know they're likable, doesn't need your comments to know they matter, doesn't need your follows to know where they're going. They've found something more valuable than viral fame: inner peace. Alan Watts once said, "The meaning of life is just to be alive." It is so plain and so obvious and so simple, and yet everybody rushes around in a great panic, as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond themselves. The non-posters get it. While everyone else is busy achieving their online persona, they're busy being alive, actually alive, not performing life, living it. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most radical act of all in our digital age: to live a life so full, so rich, so complete, that you forget to document it, to be so present in your own existence that you don't need others to witness it, to be so deeply yourself that you don't need to prove it. The next time you see someone fully present, no phone in sight, completely absorbed in the moment, remember this: they're not missing out on social media. Social media is missing out on them.